Today we're going to do the next part in my budget skincare series. Basically, the intention of this series is that we are going to put together a very effective, minimal, budget-friendly routine so that if you want to just kind of pare it down, or if you're just starting out, or if you want kind of the building blocks to build from, these are the things that I think are the most important when it comes to a good skincare routine. So if you are new here, my name is Penny and I'm a master esthetician in Portland, Oregon. I do really believe that skincare does not have to be expensive in order to be good. I don't believe you need to be rich to have good skin. I do think if you love expensive skincare, or if you have some things in your arsenal that are expensive and you love them, I think that's great too. I do too. But I really truly believe that an absolutely effective routine can be had at a really reasonable price. So that's what we're doing in this series, and I hope that you will subscribe if you are new. I also hope you'll follow me over on Instagram, where I share all kinds of fun skincare tips, etc., and a little lifestyle. It's kind of fun over there. And I also hope you'll consider joining my private Facebook group. We are about 30,000 people, and it's literally one of the nicest places on the internet where people come together and they are super encouraging and super helpful with one another about their skin, and we talk about skincare all day long. So I'll put all those links in the description box, and I hope you will check them out. So what is vitamin C? Vitamin C is an antioxidant, and I feel like that word gets thrown around a lot, but basically what it is when we are exposing ourselves to sun and pollution and environmental stressors, something called reactive oxygen species are produced. These little villains can destroy our collagen and just really wreak havoc on our skin. What an antioxidant does is it neutralizes those. It's basically like the fire department putting out the fire before the structure goes down. That is what an antioxidant can do for you. In the case of vitamin C, it's a lot more than just that. So it's going to protect us by neutralizing those, little villains, but it can also help with collagen synthesis. Now, something else that vitamin C can do for you is it can brighten your skin. I'm talking about the actual vibrancy and brightness of your skin. The skin in between the sunspots can actually become more vibrant and just look healthier. Vitamin C is actually also a pigment inhibitor, and that means that it can help with hyperpigmentation, and it can help with, sunspots and old sun damage, and it can help with, melasma. It is really good because it helps to keep that excess pigment from coming to the surface. So vitamin C is excellent if you are battling hyperpigmentation or any kind of pigment issues. Vitamin C is also anti-inflammatory, and what that means is that it can help with things like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation and post-inflammatory erythema. And all that means is those are conditions that happen after there's been some kind of trauma to the skin, and it's left with a little bit of redness or a little bit of brown or a lot of redness and a lot of brown. Those leftover pigments are the result of some kind of inflammation. And because vitamin C is anti-inflammatory, it can actually help with those. So if you have leftover acne marks that are red or brown, or if you have some other trauma that's happened that's left behind redness or browns, vitamin C can really help with that. I've actually noticed that vitamin C has helped quite a bit with my poikiloderma of Savate. I have, it's sun damage, it's old sun damage, and it's reds and it's browns and it's atrophied skin, and it's all of these things that vitamin C can really help with. Vitamin C can help with that hyperpigmentation, it can help with the redness, and then it can help with collagen stimulation and collagen protection, so that's the atrophied skin. So while there may not be any kind of actual cure for poikiloderma of Savate, so redness on the neck, the vitamin C can actually help at least alleviate it a little bit. So it's something that's really good for that. Now, for purposes of today's video, we are going to primarily focus on L-ascorbic acid. The reason for that is that is the gold standard. That is the active form of vitamin C. Now, in past videos, I have recommended vitamin C derivatives, and I still think that they are great. But what you need to know is that they are inactive inactive, and they have to be converted into the active form in our skin in order to go to work. So if you can, my suggestion is that you use L-ascorbic acid if you can tolerate it. Now, if you've tried L-ascorbic acid at 20% and it's just too irritating for you, you can go down to 10% L-ascorbic acid and see if that works before moving on to trying the derivatives. So what do you need to look for in a good L-ascorbic acid? It's a finicky vitamin, kind of like that retinol. So it doesn't like light and it does not like oxygen. So you really do want to look for opaque packaging, and you want to look for airtight if you can find it. The other thing that you're looking for in a good L-ascorbic acid vitamin C is that its pH is under 3.5. Now you don't want to go way, way, way under 3.5, because the lower that pH number goes, the more irritating the vitamin C can be. So a good area to be is around 3, where you get a low enough pH that the vitamin C is going to do what it needs to do for you, but it's not so low that it can irritate your skin. Now, the other thing that we're going to look for in a good vitamin C is that it has helper antioxidants. So you want to look for a vitamin C that also has things like ferulic acid and vitamin E. Those are other antioxidants that when combined with L-ascorbic acid, not only make it more effective, but they boost its stability, help to keep it stable longer. So you really want to look for vitamin Cs that contain multiple helper antioxidants. Okay, so what about a budget vitamin C that checks all of those boxes? I've got just one for you guys, and that is Timeless. Now, this is not sponsored by Timeless. I bought these myself, but Timeless makes an L-ascorbic acid in an opaque package with a pump in 10 and 20%, and it has ferulic acid, and it also has that vitamin E in there. The pH is exactly where it's supposed to be, so I cannot recommend these enough. They are fantastic. It's around $27 for 1 ounce, which comparatively speaking is a really good value for a quality vitamin C. SkinCeuticals, for example, which is kind of the gold standard of vitamin Cs, is $168 for 1 ounce. I would venture to say that the Timeless 20% with all of the correct boxes ticked is as efficacious as that SkinCeuticals. Not only that, but you really need to be consistent with your vitamin C. You need to use it all the time. So in order to do that, you're gonna have to fork out a ton of cash. And because it's not stable, that means that when you get that $168 bottle of SkinCeuticals, which is a great vitamin C, you need to go through it because it comes in a dropper, and every time you open up that dropper and let it out, you are causing that product to degrade. This doesn't have that because of that pump. I just think it's really, really wonderful. The packaging, the formula, everything about it. It is very, very liquidy, which means that you can put 1 or 2 pumps on, press it into your skin in the AM, go on with your skincare routine, and I don't find that it adds kind of like a layer of gunk to my skin at all. Now, you can use vitamin C morning and night. You can use it just in the morning, or you can use it just at night. There are studies that actually show that vitamin C is really, really good after you have been exposed to the sun or after you've been exposed to external stressors. So the vitamin C actually goes in post exposure and starts to clean up those reactive oxygen species. It can be irritating. So the way that I like to suggest for people to start on vitamin C is that you start kind of like a retinoid and use it every several days to begin with. Now, vitamin C is interesting because it actually gets into your skin and L-ascorbic acid and stays there. So it has kind of a life in your skin. It doesn't just wash off the next time you wash your skin. So you really can build on your vitamin C. So it's very, very beneficial even to use it every couple of days. You're still getting a great, great benefit from that vitamin C, working up to every day if you can. So those are my 2 recommendations because they check every single box. They're $27 for 1 ounce, which I guess what would you get? You'd get 5 of those, 5.5, 6 of those, 6 maybe, 6 times 3 is 180. So you'd probably get about 5+ of these for 1 single SkinCeuticals. So you can kind of see, I mean, can you imagine going through 5 bottles of vitamin C, how much time that would be, and you know how much better your skin could get over that amount of time versus 1 single bottle of SkinCeuticals. And if you're anything like me, if you happen to test multiple things, definitely want to get a product that's in opaque, airtight packaging to give it as much a chance of staying good as long as possible. You don't want to open vitamin C and then sit on it and not use it, because it definitely can degrade. Now, I'm not talking about the derivatives today, but if you are interested in, learning a little bit about the derivatives, I do have an older video on them. I still think that they are good, especially if you just can't tolerate L-ascorbic acid. I mean, that is one case where it's like, go for the derivatives. They are absolutely great antioxidants. They're just inactive forms of vitamin C, and they do take conversions in your skin in order to convert into the active form of vitamin C, kind of like retinol. And so you're relying on your skin to do that job, but also the percentage that you buy in a derivative doesn't equate the percentage you get after the conversion. So like if you use a 20% of a derivative, your skin converts it into the active form, you maybe get 5% active vitamin C after that. And it's definitely important to have vitamin C in percentages over 8, but you don't need to go over 20. So if you have a 10% vitamin C, that's going to be efficacious. If you have 20%, that's ideal. Going to 25 or 30% is unnecessary, and you're likely just to get some irritation with no added benefits. So that is my spiel on vitamin C. I hope that it encourages you to try to use it. I do think that something that's really cool about vitamin C is you usually can start to see some results from it after just a few weeks. So it's not like retinoids. It's really one of those things that's relatively, in the skincare world, instant gratification, because, in 3 weeks, you start to really kind of see a glow. You see your skin brightening. You see your pigment starting to lighten, the unwanted pigment, and you really can start to see the benefit. And that is encouraging to continue to use it. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you missed the retinol video, definitely check it out. We're going to do, the next 3 are going to be moisturizer, sunscreen, and we're going to do cleansers. And at the end of all of this, we're going to put it all together so that we can just develop a super duper simple, budget-friendly routine that everybody can do to achieve great skin. I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.